Alright, today I woke up to numerous missed text messages and phone calls, and it turns out that two YouTube individuals have embraced Sedevacantism. Whereas it's a shame, this is not something that should shock our world. It goes to show that Sedevacantism is indeed a dangerous heresy, and it is a heresy that isn't going anywhere anytime soon. This isn't something new in the church. We've been seeing people taken in by movements like this since the brilliant Tertullian became a Montanist. The church was no longer in the authority for him too. Much to his peril, he lost his sainthood and is now merely a father, or, well, a writer of the church. I have not seen the videos that these individuals have seemingly put out. Whatever the arguments they put forth, I've heard them. They're not compelling. But to call them silly is also a caricature of giving someone the love they deserve. But it indeed reminds me of the Diamond Brothers, one of the most successful groups when it comes to being deceitful hate-mongers. These people have embraced Sedevacantism. These people that have embraced Sedevacantism must realize that movements like these are dangerous. I was told that the book Tumultuous Times played a part in their conversions. I have read Father Radecki's Tumultuous Times, and Mike Duddy, the man I personally know and am very good friends with, has as well. Anyone that is considering getting this book, save your cash. There's nothing new under the sun here. As I've said before, all these Sedevacantists take their arguments from Pat Omler, who has been soundly refuted many times over. In regards to the arguments of the past popes being heretics, these individuals are no one to be labeling anyone a heretic. Instead of reading books like Tumultuous Times, these guys need to read a theology manual. None of the standard manuals. And I mean none. From Tanqueray, Ott, or even Jungmann. None of them. All standard pre-Vatican II manuals. None would say the outrageous things that Omler or Radecki say. Next week, Michael Duddy and myself will be releasing a multi-part series just on Sedevacantism. You may be asking yourself, who is this Michael Duddy? Well, Michael Duddy is a former Sedevacantist, and he is the one that destroyed the Sedevacantist arguments in the New Mass. Michael Duddy is a close friend of mine, and he knows Father Radecki, and he's been challenging Father Radecki, the author of the book that somebody told me played a part in converting these guys. He's been challenging him to debate for 3 years now. Much like Peter Diamond, who won't debate me even his life depended on it anymore. He won't touch Mike with a 100-foot pole. If this video happens to reach Father Radecki, Mike is still waiting for your word-for-word rebuttal on his work in regards to the Catechism of the Council of Trent. But don't hold your breath. You won't ever see such a response. The Sedevacantists have no response to the arguments levied against them. In order to label a person a heretic, as the Sedevacantists find themselves privy to do, the requirements of Titus must be in place. And guess what those requirements are? According to the biblical usage of the Greek word hieretikon, which is the Greek word for heretic, we find the biblical context shows us that in this passage that is used, and you will see it flash across the screen, it shows us that this is in reference to an individual that is admonished, and if they continue in their heresy, then they are condemned. In other words, the individual is a heretic for the very reason that he stands self-condemned after many admonitions. The form that is used in this passage is hieretikon, anthropon. Heretical man. Anthropon is used for man in the Greek accusative masculine form. In other words, the form of the sentence will lead us to realize that the individual is in heresy for the very reason that he denies the truth, even after being admonished numerous times. So, even if these popes had sinned the way many have, to claim a pope as a heretic, we must have the historic Catholic criteria for such a claim being fulfilled. I dare say that no Sedevacantist layman has the authority to label the Holy Father a heretic, and they should be ashamed for thinking such. The Sedevacantists call themselves traditional Catholics. There is nothing traditional about resisting the historical teachings of the Church. It is a mockery of the term traditional in the Latin and in the Greek. So it all comes down to this. Do we trust Christ and His promise? Or do we, mere laymen or rogue individuals, have the right to take on the role of an ecumenical council, or that of a divinely appointed authority, and declare a pope a heretic, and that he has lost his office. I do not know Paleocrat, but I do know Glenn. Glenn is a young, good, honest guy. And I will pray for these individuals, that they realize the error that they have made. The same thing I said to the Diamond Brothers is the same thing I will say to them. In the tradition of the church, the scriptures, the fathers, and common sense don't convince you, then this new form of Protestantism that you've embraced is what you're going to have to live with. Is it the Novus Ordo that these individuals reject? Because the arguments are so lightweight that Trent and the fathers don't support the Sedevacantist position on this either. As we've already seen, Peter Diamond was so inept and had no idea about what the Latin from Trent or the Greek from the biblical text shows that he had to accuse me of making fake quotes. The Sedevacantists have no real answers to real problems in the church today. In the upcoming days, Michael Duddy and I will be covering every single argument levied by Peter Diamond during and after the debate. We will be covering the Latin of the Catechism of Trent. We will go even more in depth than the Fathers. In fact, we will show how each and every single Father that touches upon the consecration formula completely disagrees with the Sedevacantists and their arguments. Each and every single church father completely disagrees with them. The one thing I can promise every single subscriber to me here, those that have seen me speak, those that have seen me debate live, or even listen to me on YouTube or where have you, whatever, and those that follow me on the Catholic Legate, I can promise you, and I swear to God to you, as God is my witness, that I will never abandon the Catholic faith. I promise every single one of you, as long as I live, and as long as I breathe, I will fight this form of Protestantism. I promise every one of you individuals that I will never lead you down a path that even remotely resembles Sedevacantism. I will pray for you, and I hope you pray for me, as this ministry of mine, and my work on the Legate, and my speaks and my debates, wherever I have them, as this takes on Sedevacantism at full force. Michael Duddy and I will be releasing a full refutation in the upcoming weeks as well on the ridiculous book, Tumultuous Times, that has nothing new under the sun, and indeed is more ripping off from Pat Almler. Nothing new under the sun, and a book that has no compelling arguments. And I hope you pray for me as I take this on, and as I give this my full efforts. Because the attacks come from every single location. The hate letters I get, the hateful phone calls, the ugly messages. But I would give my life defending the truth of the Catholic faith. And I promise to God I will do it to the best of my capacity. God bless you all.